Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. CIG's lawyers have a way of dramatising their legal documents, which makes for some interesting reading for me. CIG have responded to Crytek's new lawyers in regard to attempts to prevent having them to put up a $2.2 million bond. Basically, CIG have requested this bond to prove that Crytek can pay CIG's legal fees should they be the prevailing party, which is indeed quite possible. They reaffirm their position. There seems to be a focus on who will be the prevailing party, and in their last reply, Crytek suggest that they are fairness-driven, and if they can't get monetary relief, then stopping CIG in their tracks would be an appropriate outcome, which I assume would be stopping them from developing the game, or at least Squadron 42. This has triggered quite a powerful response from CIG now, who are not pulling any punches. I'll prefix this with I'm not a lawyer, and this is opinions and conclusions I've drawn from reading the source material as I understand it, and I'll link all of it down below. This is just a response to Crytek's response to the motion for the bond. So basically CIG are just saying, look, we definitely want the bond, and this is why, and Crytek haven't proven otherwise, effectively. So CIG only need to show that there was a possibility, or is a possibility, that they will be the prevailing party, and that there could be problems with the other side, Crytek, paying their fees if they do win. And Crytek had previously said in their response that there was basically no evidence that CIG would win. So CIG started its reply by saying it has detailed various evidence showing that it is possible it will be the prevailing party. They can show Crytek have a history of financial distress, CIG have already defeated them on some claims, and that future fees could get expensive. Crytek's continued and undisputed failure to file its long overdue financial reports in Germany remains unexplained. The sudden exit of Squadron firm only adds to a row of red flags. Crytek had 70 days from its filing of this motion to prepare a showing that it is good for the money, and there is no reasonable possibility CIG will win anything it has not already run. Crytek did not even try. Crytek's failure to rebut reinforces the compelling need for the security requested. CIG supported its request for a $2.2 million bond with a detailed declaration from CIG's counsel, which, looking at the motion for the bond, it did, with lots of documents, including a statement from Faceware saying they didn't get given Crytek's CryEngine code, lawyers' fees up to the end of March 2019, which CIG has apparently incurred $387,528.45 in attorney's fees up to the end of March 2019. They talk about future potential fees and a history of financial troubles of Crytek, which are a matter of record, I suppose. CIG's fees are pretty high up to that date, though, I will say that, and Crytek did mention that they were quite high fees. Crytek's new lawyers say that the old lawyers are gone, so that renders CIG's stated concerns moot. CIG's concerns are that Crytek, regardless of which lawyers represent it, has and will run up expenses over whatever quibble it can. At the same time, Crytek argues generally that CIG's legal fees to date have been unreasonable, ignoring the specific Crytek behaviour that has forced CIG to incur those fees in the first place, and conspicuously neglecting to contrast the size of Squadron's corresponding bill, whether receivable or otherwise. Crytek cannot identify a single unwarranted step CIG has taken. CIG also assert that they have already been successful in various matters, with the case having the most substantive claims already dismissed. They go on to say CIG also demonstrated with respect to the contract that in the unlikely event the court finds that CIG committed some kind of breach of the GLA, the game license agreement, for example, displaying snippets of CryEngine code in Bug Smashers videos, CIG will still be deemed to be the prevailing party because any such Pyrrhic victory by Crytek will be far outweighed by the successes CIG has already achieved on the most material claims, which Crytek's opposition ignores, and the victories that there is more than a reasonable possibility CIG will achieve against Crytek's remaining claims. Crytek offers no showing at all on the merits according to CIG. Crytek Crytek does not address the statutory basis for a fee award at all. Crytek solely asserts on the contract fee basis that a mixed result, which is all Crytek can hope for now, having already lost its central claims, such as obtaining equitable relief, would satisfy many of its litigation objectives and would support a finding that Crytek is the prevailing party, whether or not it is ultimately entitled to monetary relief. Crytek's argument appears to be in opposition to a future fee motion, not the pending bond motion. Rather than submitting evidence to support its remaining claims for monetary damages, Crytek attempts to lower its bar for success in the litigation by arguing for the first time that it is not really after CIG's money, but rather its litigation objectives all along have been specific performance. Crytek complains that CIG did not make any attempt even to understand what Crytek's litigation objectives might be. So basically what they're saying there is CIG is saying that Crytek have changed their stance to be, well, we just want to prevent CIG from using our good name, damaging our reputation, using our tech or whatever. They're saying that even if they don't get any money, it's whatever they can get is objectives enough for them. They're lowering the bar to that, so they'd be the prevailing party, even if they got a dollar, or they prevented CIG from releasing Squadron 42 without putting a Crytek logo on it, or something like that. CIG then go on to say that Crytek's litigation objectives are plainly stated not just to CIG, but also to the court, because Crytek has pleaded the relief sought 3 times. The only equitable relief Crytek has ever specifically attempted to reference has been injunctive relief, enjoining and restraining defendants from continuing to possess or use infringing CryEngine tech. None of Crytek's 3 complaints breathed one word about credits being returned to the splash screen, delivery of bug fixes, or a takedown of whatever bug smashes videos, which were the videos apparently that might have shown some code of Crytek. In addition to the pleadings, Crytek's submissions in this case also confirmed that its main litigation objective always and remains lots of money. The opposition attempts to downplay Crytek's claim for damages while admitting that the $200 million in crowdfunding is context for Crytek's eventual calculation of a monetary award. Crytek's attempt to inflate the importance of obtaining previously unspoken equitable relief on the bug smashes and credits claims is further undermined by Crytek's failure to complain even once about either issue until it filed this lawsuit. So it's potentially, reading that, it sounds like it's not necessary that Crytek might want to stop like Squadron 42 releasing or whatever, but it also might be suggesting that they don't want the bug smashers there with their proprietary or secret code in it, even though that's less relevant now. That could be what they're referring to when they say stop CIG in its tracks or whatever. If Crytek was really so concerned about its code appearing in the bug smashers videos, even after it sold the code to Amazon, which then gave it to Amazon's customers for free, and even after Crytek began releasing the code to the public under a pay-what-you-want license, it would seem the record on this motion would contain Crytek's proof of at least a letter or email from Crytek to CIG requesting that whatever code fragments to be removed from whatever video. The same is true of Crytek's game credits, which CIG removed from the game on December 23rd, 2016. Crytek raised neither issue until it filed this lawsuit. More than a year later, Crytek raised other issues in correspondence exchanged with CIG between November 2015 and June 2017, but neither bug smashers nor the game credits came up once. This lawsuit has always been about getting money, not specific performance. CIG's lawyers then go on to say that any display of CryEngine code and bug smashers could not damage Crytek because Crytek already made the code widely available for free. Moreover, Crytek sat on its hands for years before making any objection to the bug smashers videos. The record is devoid of Crytek demanding that CIG take any video down. This is not the behaviour of a party with meaningful and legitimate concerns about the confidentiality of its code. CIG submitted evidence detailing years of Crytek's slow and disinterested correspondence related to the bug fixes that ultimately culminated in CIG's delivery of the bug fixes to Crytek on January 23rd, 2018. Basically, that was part of the GLA that they were going to regularly give them bug fixes for the CryEngine code while they were using it. In response, Crytek pretend these events never happened, so it can argue that CIG delivered the bug fixes as a result of the lawsuit. Crytek fails, however, to rebut this proof that CIG delivered the bug fixes not in response to the lawsuit, but in response to Crytek's June 22nd, 2017 letter on the subject. Crytek fails to show why it should get credited for Amazon's code or how Crytek was damaged by the loss of credit. CIG say they submitted evidence showing that by the time CIG removed Crytek's credits, CIG was developing Star Citizen and Squadron 42 using the game engine code licensed to CIG under its separate agreement with Amazon, not the Crytek GLA, the game license agreement with them. Crytek now argues that even if Amazon granted CIG a separate license to use the game engine code, the credit requirement in the GLA persists, so long as CryEngine is still in Star Citizen. The problem is that software is under license from Amazon, not Crytek. Indeed, the source code from Amazon includes the following header: all or portions of this file copyright Amazon.com Inc. and its affiliates or its licensors. Crytek makes much of the fact that the code is the same, but that is only because Crytek cashed out on the code by selling it to Amazon, making CIG's license from Amazon possible. If Crytek did not want Amazon to take credit for the code, Crytek should not have sold the code to Amazon. Suing Amazon's licensees is not the solution. I think that's pretty dramatic and very CIG statement now. They do dramatize these things in an interesting way. I think it's probably because they know people are going to be watching and reading them. Crytek fails to show how the development of Squadron 42 breached the GLA or was impermissible under the Amazon license agreement. CIG demonstrated that plain language of the GLA does not support Crytek's claim that CIG's use of the game engine code, formerly known as CryEngine, to develop Squadron 42 breached the GLA. CIG's co-founder, Ortwin Fryermuth, submitted a declaration confirming that CIG's use of the source code in Squadron 42 is independently authorized under a separate license agreement with Amazon. CIG showed that Amazon was able to grant CIG that license only because Amazon paid Crytek an amount in the high double digits of millions to acquire the right to reband and resell the source code without restriction. Crytek responded with nothing but confusing arguments only about the language of the GLA. Crytek's pleadings alleged that liability arose from CIG's switching of game engines. Having lost those claims that CIG's switch was prohibited, Crytek now flips to the opposite position that liability arose from CIG's not switching game engines. Crytek is making every last-ditch effort to concoct a breach claim, but the record lacks any support for it. CIG's lawyers then go on to say that as Squadron 42 might only be accessible through Star Citizen's launcher, which would keep it in line with the GLA, or at least it was planned to go through the Star Citizen launcher at the time they were working with Crytek, but they are now licensed under Lumberyard as of the 30th of April 2016 to sell it as a separate game if they so wish, and are not bound by that GLA, so Crytek's arguments are weak. Crytek has not argued, much less shown, that Amazon lacked the rights to grant CIG a license to use the same CryEngine source code. CryEngine cannot use the GLA to deprive CIG of benefits of its separate license from Amazon by demanding that CIG pay a separate license fee for Squadron 42. Crytek is trying to have its cake and eat it too. Crytek sold its CryEngine technology to Amazon for many millions of dollars in July 2014, allowing Amazon to license the code to whomever it wanted under those terms. As a natural consequence of that sale, Amazon began licensing its rebranded version of the technology to game developers, including CIG. If Crytek did not want Amazon to do that, Crytek should have not entered into the deal with Amazon. Crytek should not be able to use this litigation to retrade the deals it made with CIG and Amazon. For now, Crytek should not be able to continue this litigation until it deposits an adequate bond securing CIG's future costs and fees. Now, I quite like reading some of these legal documents. I like the interest of this and the sort of like wordy language that they use and the way that lawyers talk to each other. And because it's of a specialist subject of mine, sort of Star Citizen and the interactions that they had with game engines and stuff, I find it really, really interesting. But if you've got any questions, remembering that I am very much a layman, I'm just reading and understanding it from the source material rather than having any legal training on the matter. Please ask any questions you want. If you've got any opinions on the matter, you can chuck them in the comments down below. I still think for the most part, though, both parties are just posturing for settlements. They're just working out sort of like what the most or least amount of settlement that they need to put forward is, and that obviously CIG will probably just want to be done with this case as soon as possible. So if they can get rid of just a token amount of money, great. However, if Crytek ask for too much, then it's very likely that CIG will fight it to the bitter end and try and get Crytek to pay their fees. But whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For June, we have an Origin 890 Jump, the massive luxury ship that is a huge sort of like capital luxury ship. It's been donated by Odyssey Interstellar, a friendly industrial expansionist organization in Star Citizen that focus on mining, trading, industry, exploration, research, and infrastructure. In short, commerce is their goal. They run regular weekly events in-game now. Please check them out if you are looking for an org to join. Links down below. There are a couple of services I shield for as well that you might find useful. If you're looking for a VPN, then check out NordVPN. I use it for security, privacy, and more. It has massive advantages over free VPNs. And if you use the code BoredGamer, you get up to 75% off your subscription. Boom! Also, there is Shadow Cloud Gaming. This is an alternative to having your own or upgrading your gaming rig on PC. It leverages the power of the internet and your own Shadow server that emulates a high-spec Windows 10 PC, so you can play up to 144Hz 4K anywhere with an old PC, laptop, smartphone, or even tablet. Freedom to play anywhere. The internet is good enough anyway, and it works really well with Star Citizen and all the games that I play, and is constantly updated and even improved with new hardware. Again, use the code BoredGamer for discount. Links below to all of that jazz. Thank you to all that support the channel through Patreon, the YouTube join button, donations, subscribe star, as well as anyone that just generally subscribes, likes, comments, and shares my content. Dings that bell, ding ding. If you feel so inclined, you can find links to all of that down below. A special thank you though to my VIP producers this month: Dalamars, Catastrus, Raz, Gear Khan, General Aventador, Robert Johnson, and Andy Green, who have given well beyond the norm in support for the channel. I know a load of other people have, but I can't name them all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.